Well, it's January, and that means two things: college football bowl season and an endless debate about the BCS. Here are my thoughts on Small Talk with Chris Starring. Well, folks, it's that time of year again, when everybody gripes about the BCS for about a week or two before everybody goes back to the typical 50 weeks of the year that nobody gives a crap. But of course, don't tell that to a diehard college football fan. I mean, how dare you give in to an oppressive and unjust bowl system? I mean, if you let the man have his way, you've just disgraced your ancestors. College football fandom will spit in your general direction. An angry torch-bearing mob will beat down your door in the middle of the night. And may God have mercy on your poor, degenerate soul if you don't raise questions like, well, shouldn't TCU be in the national championship because they had an undefeated season? Yeah, that's what we're up against. Well, that argument's still alive and well here in January 2011. And let's just face it, it's not going away anytime soon. I mean, you can set your watch to the fact that at some point, one of the college football telecasters, sportscasters, probably Brent Musburger, will bring up the whole BCS controversy just to get everybody riled up to start some La Revolution, to change this oppressive and unjust BCS system and replace it with something more democratic and sweet, like a playoff. But of course, nothing ever changes, and we'll be debating this for another year. I mean, apparently, 2 years ago, some college football fans took this so to heart that they wrote their local congressman about it and actually wanted some no Division 1A college football team left behind act heard on the Senate floor. Thankfully, this was thrown out, but to me, if this is the kind of issue that America puts that much priority in over, I don't know, like, we have 2 wars going on in the Middle East, we had that whole healthcare reform thing to deal with, if that's more important than those things, then America is the kind of country where some congressmen can get together and on a whim sell the great state of New Jersey to the small European nation of Luxembourg, and no one would even know or care. Not even people living in New Jersey. But I digress. I'll admit, I'd actually love to see a playoff, but I don't think it's going to happen in my lifetime. I mean, the least I could do is rent an apartment in an alternate universe where they have a playoff system. Because I would think it would be pretty interesting to see. I mean, right now with the BCS system, everything is determined a month in advance. Everything, basically we have a press conference where the college representatives open up hermetically sealed envelopes and tell all the teams where they're going to go in the last weeks of December and the first weeks of the new year. It's all decided behind closed doors in a smoke-filled room, and no one's allowed to hear about it until the press conference happens. I mean, it's quite anticlimactic. There's no do-or-die action. There's no, cutthroat single elimination tournament or anything like that. It's basically everybody just gets an extra game before August if they win 9 games in the regular season. And I mean, who's going to argue that? I mean, what's wrong with that? Everybody gets an extra free game. Woohoo! One more extra game before we hang it up for 9 months. But at the same time, that just means a whole lot of extra bowl games and a whole lot of dinky plastic consolation trophies that hang up in trophy cases and collect dust for decades, and nobody has any idea why they're there. Like, oh, wow, we won the Tangerine Bowl in 1971. Wonder what that is. What? That wasn't the Rose, Sugar, Orange, or Fiesta Bowl, was it? No, I don't even know what that is. I mean, let's face it, outside the big 4 bowls, those are probably the only ones I watch. And maybe the Cotton Bowl or the Capital One Bowl are up there too, but all these extra bowls, when's the last time you went all the way up to ESPN 8 to some channel where they usually show Tiddlywinks competitions to watch the Bow Wow Chunky Dog Food Bowl where, like, Middle Tennessee State and Duke face off? You haven't. It just doesn't happen, and I can probably vouch for everyone else. Unless that's the college you went to and you have a crappy football program that managed to win 9 games, you're not watching that particular bowl. The other problem with the BCS is that there's often a lot of good teams that could have been national championship contenders that don't make it to the national championship because there is no playoff system. Everybody's just down to, rankings and standings, and that determines the national championship. I mean, it's pretty much if you're undefeated, you go to the national championship, or if you're damn close to being undefeated, you go to the national championship. But let's say this has just been in a year where there are a whole lot of good teams, like right now. I mean, there are 4 teams that could have been national championship contenders, I think. Auburn and Oregon, well, that's a no-brainer. But here are some other 2 that I thought could have been in the national championship had a playoff system existed. First is Texas Christian University, the TCU Horned Frogs. Everyone has been talking about this team this season, and as members of the Mountain West Conference, they seemed like unlikely contenders in the eyes of the people that run the BCS for the national championship. They didn't face the same kind of competition that Auburn and Oregon did, but at the same time, they had an undefeated season, and they went to the Rose Bowl. They beat the Wisconsin Badgers 21-13, and it's not like anybody's saying, "Oh, we only won the Rose Bowl." I mean, that's a pretty big deal. And as an added bonus, TCU is leaving the Mountain West for the Big East Conference next season. They're moving up. The other team is the Ohio State Buckeyes. They had a 12-1 season. Then they took a plane ride down to the Big Easy and defeated the Arkansas Razorbacks 31-26, ending the Big Ten's bowl misery against the SEC. Now, say what you want about the Big Ten. I mean, let's face it, their bowl appearance this year has been less than spectacular, and they have been kind of laughingstocks, but Ohio State won theirs, and that is the Sugar Bowl, so it was one that counted. And I think there's no doubt in anybody's mind that they could have been national championship contenders had a playoff existed. Now, do I think we should just go to a playoff and rip the carpet beneath everyone's feet and eliminate all these bowl games and just start from scratch? No, I don't think so. I think all these bowl games are steeped in tradition and have been around for decades. I mean, the Rose Bowl has been played ever since the beginning of the 20th century. I mean, eliminating it would just be devastating. And I think there could be some sort of compromise between a playoff and the BCS. And here's my idea. We have 4 bowl games, right? The big 4 bowls. Rose, Sugar, Orange, and Fiesta. We can take these 4 bowls and we can add 2 other games. Make these 4 bowls quarterfinals and sort of a BCS national championship playoff. Now, of course, all the conferences will determine where everybody goes, just like they usually do, and they have for years. But here's the kicker. Okay? The winner of the Rose Bowl and the winner of the Fiesta Bowl will meet in a West Championship. The winner of the Sugar Bowl and the winner of the Orange Bowl will meet in an East Championship. And the winner of the West Championship and the winner of the East Championship will meet in the BCS National Championship. I also favor changing the way the BCS National Championship game is hosted. I think it should be put up for a bid, kind of like the Super Bowl. Basically, any city or college campus with a proper stadium can host it one year, and then it will move on to another city the next year. Maybe like, say for example, Atlanta hosts it next year, Los Angeles one year, Dallas the next, Tampa, Miami, New Orleans, wherever. But anyways, just let me know what y'all think about my idea about the BCS National Championship. Rate, comment below, let me know. Do you like my idea? Do you have a different idea? Do you think I'm an idiot? Do you think I'm the greatest thing that ever hit the world? Do you think I'm cute? I don't know. Just let me know. And, anyways, I hope y'all watch the BCS National Championship. Being from Atlanta, I usually pull for the Georgia Bulldogs, but let's just face it, they didn't have a great season this year, so I gotta pull for my conference, pull for the Auburn Tigers, go War Eagles. Anyways, just Y'all have a Happy New Year, and stay tuned. There will always be more Small Talk with Chris Starring to come.